Trump co- co- company his differently this time. Even if he never wins a general election again, he retains his hold. The endurance of that power is incredible. When was the last time you listened to Donald Trump speak at length? There's a qualitative way to think about this question about the substance of what he's saying. He's still talking, perhaps more than people realize, about how the last election was stolen from him. And he treated the 2020 election as a year zero event that has ruined the world. But there's a second, quantitative way of looking at this question. In 2015 and 2016, as he was becoming the Republican nominee the first time, Mr. Trump quickly transformed into an all-encompassing central figure in an evolving, building story that started like a dark joke that Mr. Trump was in on, then soon into a reality. Soon. Twitter introduced the quote tweet function in 2015 and shifted toward an algorithmic timeline in the spring of 2016. The combination juiced essentially every Trump tweet into a conflict that sat there like an electromagnet. Mentions of Mr. Trump on Facebook were so prominent and constant they could barely be compared with those of the other candidates. It just feels as though it requires much more work to find and understand the main news events of any given day now. A hazy feeling, yes, but one people seem to express open. And yet Mr. Trump's voice is ceaseless. TV can change, social media can break down further. People can feel that they know all there is to know about him, and they still hold the power over millions of people. Even if he never wins a general election again, he retained this hold. The indictment against him didn't markedly diminish Mr. Trump's standing with the party or in national polling, which seems to amaze even him, given how open he talked about it on the trail. The decline of the media structure of the 2010s and his place in them doesn't seem to have diminished this hold either. Perhaps this fractured landscape is why Trump's seeking re-election can feel more muted than last time. People are perhaps holding a static image of Mr. Trump in their brains or forestalling the reality of what another Trump nomination would mean. But in the present, his words keep changing and influencing how Republicans, from politicians to activists to some share of voters, think about election, power, the state, immigration, the court, and the retribution. This change is active and constant. Just think about how differently politicians used to talk 10 years ago. How many things have happened in recent memory that would not have been believed. Mr. Trump's nomination in 2016 started narrowly with pluralities. Nothing about that choice was inevitable, and yet it's reshaped so much since then. It's not even inevitable now. There's still time, but Republicans picking him again would formalize and accelerate this change process again. To nominate someone for president locks half the country into one person's priorities and half the country into reacting to him or her. The reality of Mr. Trump being more present in people's lives is days spent with him saying undocumented immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country. Days of reaction to and ludicrous. Depends about the lines. It's hard to imagine a presidential candidate saying 10 years ago, days of grim polling about what voters think of the sentiment. And as the thousands of days like this pile up, the policy and personnel of a major political party keep changing, so that one day bombing, drug cartel, and by extension, Mexico goes from a half-thought of Mr. Trump's to a year or two later, the essential policy of the Republican Party. If you really think through the prospect of a Trump-Biden rematch, except to dwell on it, take on board the details. It's like finding yourself in a darkened room with a concrete wall in front of you and only a few inches of clearance behind you. A person can tune out everything, disappear into Instagram and TikTok, and ignore the news, and Mr. Trump will still be there.